Yo, what is going on, CPC fans? You got Hikertoad here, bringing you back CPC Week 4 versus 681 Shadow, the commissioner of the league. And so I'm just going to get right into it, as we did make some transactions before this week with, we now have Starmie, Alone Executor, and Girder, while we drop the Slowking, Delmise, and the Sliggoo. As I didn't really, behind, just quick reasoning behind why I did this, I didn't really see myself bringing Delmise to really any games. I haven't really considered it, and I wanted a more reliable spinner when hazards really just destroy my team, and I didn't want a defogger because I have the really good option of hazard stack, and I also have that offensive option, the offensive water and defensive water now, as I really never considered bringing Slowking either, as I found Quillfish more preferable. Really fun mod. I like that mod a lot, but and then I got a Wish Passer. I really wanted a Wish Passer, and it also gets the grass type that I got rid of in Delmise. So I really like Alolan Executor as my team really appreciates the Wish Pass. As you see on this team, Mawile, Swine, and Nidoqueen, as well as Torn kind of appreciates it if rocks are up, and because Regenerator can't really fully heal it if it takes a hit plus rocks. So that's really nice, as well as Quillfish and Girder. And Girder is a really nice extra dark resist that I didn't have before, because before I was just a lone Persian and Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile doesn't always want to check stuff. So going into Shadow's team, he has the Raikou Mega Gallade, Zyger 50%, Drapion, Klefki, Tapu Bulu, Mantine, Vaporeon, Aurorus, and the Torkoal. So big threats, mainly the Mega Gallade Zygarde core, as well as Raikou. Those top three are the main threats, as Mega Gallade is very hard for me to switch into, which I kind of let's see, Sword Stance, Close Combat, Ice Punch, and Knockoff. I think that's the set. If he brings that, I don't have a switch into it, and potentially Zen over Ice Punch or something like that, and he could run a multitude of sets with his Mega Gallade, so that is definitely scary. Zygarde is definitely a threat. I do have the Piloswine, but something like a Dragon Dance into Z Iron Tail or Z Superpower could definitely OHKO my Piloswine at +1. So giving that thing a free Dragon Dance is definitely something that I do not want to do, and I need to try and give that thing as little switch-ins as possible. And then the Raikou could potentially be threatening with stuff like Calm Mind and potential Thunderbolt, and mainly it's just setting up. I can kind of deal with it. I have the double ground and the grass, so you think I'm fine, but the just potential, if it goes for Calm Mind, then the extra sensory almost kills. It does a good chunk to Nidoqueen, and then I can weaken my Piloswine for the Zygarde, which is good synergy, and could definitely be the end of me as well. But I'm all over the place, but that's part of the reason why I brought Alone Executor, as I think that he might bring Aura Sphere. Well, I think that he's going to either bring Aura Sphere, Extrasensory, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch or Calm Mind or whatever, or he's going to try and bring some HP Water because it hits them both, and under prep for the Alone Executor. As actually, shoutouts to Jake, he gave me a mock for this match, as I was really worried about some threats, and Alone Executor, he didn't really have much for it. Jake's the GOAT though, doing good in CPC right now. But yeah, basically I have 4 Tax Mega Mawiles. He doesn't really have a good switch into it besides Torkoal, and I could have ran Stone Edge, but I think if he brings Torkoal, it's gonna be I think he might potentially be Charity, because a +2 Stone Edge actually OHKOs Torkoal if he's not Charity, so I think that would be a good bring. But even if he's not Charity, I still have to risk hitting Stone Edge, and I really don't want to put myself in that position, even though I have Hurricane. But yeah, it's pretty much my all set. Sucker Punch is mainly just for the Raikou and Gallade for extra, in case they get out of hand. I want to be able to get that good damage off on them. For Tornadus, I have enough HP so I can live an Ice Punch into a Shadow Sneak from the Mega Gallade. It's not something that I necessarily expect, as I think he'll bring Sword Stance. If he 3-attack Sword Stance would be really good, but 4-attacks is still really hard for me to switch into, so I definitely can't count that out as an option. So I definitely wanted to consider that, as Torn is a relatively safe switch in when it's at full, as I do need to keep rocks off the field this game, as his only rockers are Torkoal and Auroras, so Starmie can do that, should be able to do that with relative ease if I play it correctly. And so with the Starmie, basically I have the Colberberry and Reflect. Basically that's to help deal with Mega Gallade. I can switch in on a knock and tank it, and then go for the Reflect on the following turn. Like, so if he tries to set up on me, then it gets like neutered, and so I don't have to worry about that, and I could potentially then pivot into my Tornty and take nothing unless it's like a Zen Headbutt or like Ice Punch, and like I can still tank it and force him out. So yeah, pretty standard like Starmie set. It's walled by the Vaporeon and Mantine, which is like not preferable, but like I'd rather like be able to deal with Mega Gallade than like I'd rather have those things get free switch-ins than like have Mega Gallade just get a kill whenever it comes in, you know? It's like I could have had like Toxic over it, but I think that Reflect was the better bring. I could have gone with like maybe like Clay over that, but like I think Clover still works. And here we have Nidoqueen. Basically, it's my I was about to say it's like my only breaker, but like bringing them out wild automatically means you just have a good breaker. So basically, this is basically Nidoqueen takes advantage of the Mega Mawile counter being Torkoal, because that's like the only good switch in he has to Mega Mawile. So this takes complete advantage of it and either gets a kill when it comes in or gets good chip on something like the Zygarde. Because basically, if he wants to like bring Vaporeon, like, because I see him bringing Mantine or Vaporeon, those are his only two answers to this, without like taking like a lot of damage on like Gallade or Zygarde. And so if it's like, basically what I'm thinking is I have Mawile in, he goes Torkoal, I like maybe like either I like double into Nidoqueen, the drought is up, then I can Fire Off an Earth Power. If he brings the Vaporeon, I can taunt it the next turn and take nothing from the Scald, and then I can just continue, and then I can either kill it or like get good damage on something else while the Vaporeon is still weakened. And if he brings the Mantine, then I am EV to OHKO it with Thunder Punch no matter what, unless he is the Wakan variant. So that is really good. Like, I don't really care if this is burned by Vaporeon, because like he's not going to bring both Vaporeon and Mantine, I think, so it's really good. So I just have this mixed defense Piloswine. Basically, I needed to check Raikou and Zygarde 50%, which is kind of hard, but it definitely can do that. And so, yeah, it's pretty standard spread. It has the rocks because I need every move on Nidoqueen for this, so. And then last month I have the Alolan Executor for Wish support for the Piloswine, so I can try and keep that thing healthy the whole game, as well as Mega Mawile, and the Nidoqueen if I want to try and preserve that for whatever reason. Toxic is because I found just like I kind of struggle to beat the Mantine and Vaporeon otherwise, and if they're like a Scald like Toxic, which is a really just basic set that can really just do work. Like if they Toxic me and I can't do anything back, like Mantine, like because it's not super effective, like I can just be a Stalwart and it can just beat me down, because I don't think he's gonna run Ice Beam on this, because I'm not really sure if he's expecting the Alolan Executor. But yeah, Flamethrower is basically just for the Klefki and the Tapu Bulu, as this counters Tapu Bulu relatively well, as it can't really do much unless it's like special like HP Ice or like Dazzling Beam or whatever, which is really cool. And so yeah, sorry, I'm like having brain farts, but he has the, oh yeah, I really don't think he's going to bring the Tapu Bulu, as I think like I have a lot of things that just pressure it, as like kind of gives Mawile the free switch in depending on its set. Tornadus T, which he doesn't have much for besides Klefki, and Raikou can really take advantage of a Tapu Bulu, as well as I have, let's see, like that's basically it. But like, and then like Darmanitan can just like come in as well and could be potentially threatening, because that could be like Life Orb with like Rock Slide, Flare Blitz to do a lot to Vaporeon and the Mantine. So basically, I don't really think the Tapu Bulu is going to come, just because I have a lot of checks and ways to take advantage of it. But if it does come, I will be happy with that, as it gives me free recovery, as well as I'm not the most worried about it unless he pulls out a really like tech set or whatever. But yeah, this is the team builder. I will be back with the battle shortly. Yo, what's going on? I am back, and welcome to the battle portion of the video. If you skip the team portion, I will just quickly go over my team, as I have a very bulky, just 4 attacks Mega Mawile. I have the Flying EMC, just 3 attacks Taunt Torn. I have a Reflect Cobra Berry, just defensive Starmie. The offensive Taunt, 3 attacks Nidoqueen, just mixed defensive Fox Piloswine, and then Wish, Toxic, Giga Drain, Flamethrower, defensive Executor. So looking at the team that Shadow brought, it's kind of what I expected. Not really anything out of the unusual, as I kind of, yeah, potentially maybe like the Vaporeon over the Mantine could have been, and maybe like Bulu over something, but I really, like I said, I didn't expect Bulu to come, as I didn't think it had the greatest matchup. So I think he brought like the right team for this, or at least the right like set of mons for this matchup. So I'm just gonna get right into it, as right here, I'm just going to lead with my Nidoqueen, as Raikou is a really big threat, and I don't want to give that thing a initiative turn 1. Like if I lead with my Tornadus and then I have to potentially switch something into like an extrasensory or Aurora Sphere, I don't really want to just lose something turn 1, so I really want to try and get that turn 1 lead edge versus him, as he does just lead with the Klefki, as I'm just going to go for the safe Earth Power here. I don't really lose anything by it. If he goes into Mantine, then if I went for the Flamethrower and revealed that I was Life Orb against the Mantine, he might have been more likely to switch out, which is what I didn't want, as unfortunately he does go for Magic Coat expecting the rocks, and I do crit him, which I think did matter. Not in like it mattered in terms of like him finding out my set, but like it didn't really matter. He wasn't gonna do much damage off of versus me. Like in the most he did is get like a spike up that I could spin versus the majority of his team. So he's going to go into his Mantine, and he's going to I think he kind of had just like forgot that it got Thunder Punch, which I mean it definitely like sucks to lose like something like this early on, but like I mean nothing you can do about it. It does happen, so that's unfortunate, but that's just going to drop. As he goes out into his Raikou right now and goes for, I think this is Specs Extrasensory, but I have some bulk on this Nidoqueen, so I am able to live, and it's now 6-1, as he's going to go into Mega Gallade to renge me, but this can still be useful against the Torkoal, and also Starmie is a relatively free switch, and like I said, I'm not really worried about this, as Starmie does deal with it pretty well. As he is going to go for the Psycho Cut, doesn't want to miss that, I feel him on that, but yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Reflect, as he does reveal the Earthquake, which was for the Mawile, because I think that kills it at +1, because assuming like he gets intimidated by my ability. So I'm just going to go into my Torn here, as I can live a plus, because I think basically how it works is it's like neutral, so I can live an Ice Punch with ease, and I'm just going to go for my Z, as I get big damage off on something, as he's actually not Drought on the Torkoal. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but like, yes, just something interesting to know, as I can kill it with the Heat Wave on the following turn. And now he's going to go into the Zygarde. It's 6-2 at this point. I don't want to try and choke away this game, as long as I play safe, I can win. So I'm just going to taunt him. I don't want him to do like a Dragon Dance or like a Coil, as he's going to just go for the Banded 1000 Arrows. So knowing that he's banded, that's just a free U-turn out into my Alolan Executor, as he can't do much back to me, as I do Frisk it right there, even though I already counted it, he is banded. So I skipped turns right there. I usually don't do that, but yeah, I'm just gonna Toxic him, because I want Mega Gallade to get chipped, because I'm pretty sure he didn't, because I'm pretty sure he was going to go into his Mega Gallade, but I didn't want to. Like, I didn't need to double, like, it was an unnecessary play. I could have just easily afforded to play safe right there. As he's just going to just go for the Psycho Cut, and we're going to have a little exchange here with, I get the Reflect up, he goes for Earthquake, I'm going to Skull, just to chip him down even more with Toxic, as he goes for the Earthquake again. I'm just going to recover right here again, so I can scout what the Zygarde wants to lock itself into, as he does do that, as I have 1 turn of Reflect left. I can live any hit, even a Banded Outrage, so I can just, well, actually I have 2 I think. But yeah, he goes for the 1000 Arrows, and yeah, that is GG, as Alolan Executor is going to get the final kill. So yeah, unfortunately Middle Queen did put in a lot of work. Definitely unfortunate for Shadow, but I think he will be able to bounce back. This was actually a out of conference game where we fought like the person in our other conference, so didn't matter as much as like versus people in our conference at the very least. So yeah, but looking at this, we are now 3-1 plus 9, second in our conference. In case like you're like not in the league or whatever, and like you know about who's in what conference or whatever, I'm probably just gonna spoil some stuff now. But and if you like care about that, but basically at this point, Jake is 4-0, leading the division, and then everyone else below me is actually 2-2. So if we can keep this up, we can definitely keep our spot in playoffs, because we need to be top 4 in our conference to make playoffs. So definitely hoping to not catch an L anytime soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure you stick around for the next vid, and peace.